Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Tonight we have a wonderful game one of the match between Klopfer and Judgejoe tonight. I'm joined on the Restream team with Alicel on Restream, Neruliana on tracking, and Nightdew with me in the comms booth. How are you doing tonight, Nightdew?
We're doing great. Got coffee, got a good late night thing going on here. Everything's pretty good, and excuse me, it's a little later than usual for me, but yeah, it's good night to just watch some Free Enterprise here.
A good night indeed.
I have to tell Judgejoe to keep it a little bit down with those Fire Emblem. I haven't played Three Houses yet. I know those names though. About to play that there, but again, we are this is the Omnidextrous Memers Guild, and which end of the brackets are we? I cannot remember off the top of my head here.
I believe this is the that bottom right corner. Judgejoe was one of our drafters, finished in the top, won one of the asyncs and finished in the top 8, and so got the either blessing or curse of setting this upon himself.
Something like that there, but yes, I believe this is the round of 16, if I recall correctly. But yeah, we're kind of deep into the tournament here, and we are just kind of facing our normal OMG setup here. So what are you looking for tonight?
Well, I'm looking for some moon plays. I was, you were there with me. We were with Joe earlier, and he was talking about how early he can route the moon in.
Yeah, it really is, and part of that is, if you want to go up there, if you get lit, it's kind of weird going up there when you have like OMG does give you a lot of power, but it is really kind of weird if you get that darkness crystal pre-underground, just because of the magma key logic forcing it to be underground. That is definitely a thing here, and one of those things where you could find all the other. You need 6 out of 7, not 7 out of 7 here. But that's kind of a weird thing where you could really get this great team to go to the moon really early, but you might be down an objective. But it looks like the gate is dropped. It looks like we are about underway here. We had a Porum to start the day. We are going to be joined by somebody pretty good for this whole thing, Edge here, a pass and 99 Dragoon armors.
Well, this enables early shopping. That's a lot of money. I believe that's enough defense for the Mad Ogres, isn't it?
That would be more than enough defense for the Mad Ogres. You might want to keep 1 or 2 in your pocket just for the elemental resists there. Again, you're probably looking for more strength gear here, and the heroin robes that everybody wants, but you're not going to find it overworld shops just yet. But yeah, that is more than enough money for anything you could ever want here.
Now, even with these 99 Dragoon armors, both of our runners are immediately diving for Eblin because, well, they know where the traps are. They know what boxes they can loot. And with T-Pro, Eblin's the place to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, if our runners can find anything, any kind of decent weaponry, the great bow not bad there, just because if Porum didn't start with a bow, just getting somebody to just get your edge to back row status, and if you can get 1 or 2 decent weapons, there's a poison axe right there. That's actually wonderful for the Mad Ogre's chest. And a flame lance, so that is an edge that can, with a couple Dragoon armors right now, take out every one of these chests right now already.
And I have no doubt that at least one of our runners is going to do exactly that. And Joe's already equipping his armor, so it's apparent that he's definitely thinking of at least trying the Stalemate and Skull chest.
Yeah, as you said, those Dragoon armors getting you up to 77 defense, and I believe the breakpoint you're looking for to nullify pretty much all the physical damage, I believe was 62?
It is 62, and half that if you have a Rune Ring or Aegis Shield.
Yep, more than enough. The Stalemate Skulls here might take more than 1 flame here, as I don't think we had any actual wisdom boosting gear here for our ninja here. Speaking of that rune ring, Klopfer does find that, but doesn't seem to be that interested in taking these chests immediately. Just going for the original loot here, and meanwhile, Judgejoe's gonna wish he had that blizzard. Oh wait, no, the poison axe. Great against stale men too. Already down here. And Porum is actually a real good character here for that second slot here. Only getting a silent stick there. But the main draw here is the XP on that Porum here right now. Again, the faster we can get to Berserk, the faster we can just let Edge auto battle through all of our problem.
And here we see Klopfer is diving into the Mad Ogre's chest, your usual Eblin play. Oh, he's going in fast.
Yeah, again, with all that Dragoon armor there, I mean, you're not really worried about dropping a character here. Judgejoe's gonna take that Black Cat Lamia chest here. Should have enough power here to drop the... I mean, Judgejoe's going to go in fast as well here. Gonna keep the Flame Lance. Wait, going in with... Okay, I'm confused here.
Yeah,
going in with Great Bow Medusa arrows. Looking for stone procs.
The fun part is, though, you could get the timing right and still not get the proc because of the incredibly low accuracy of that combination. Mm-hmm. Joe, of course, is a rather lucky individual and gets the first one. But
yeah, center slot is going to help here, and Edge's base and strength there is going to give him a few multipliers, and yeah, that's both the Black Cots are down, and I would assume here going to have the timing for the Lamia here just as well. I got darts actually, okay.
Yeah. The Lamia does not counter darts.
Yep. Klopfer going to Troy here, no mistunts, Eddie has a pan. Sure, why not?
You could fade for Bool. Go for the single dip.
You could.
But with that force hook, you might have to go anyways.
Yep, nice Dragoon Spear there. Goes along with that Poison Axe here. Yeah, already gonna get our first real kind of half taste of power here with that Blizzard Lance and Dragoon Spear. As Klopfer is gonna go up to pet the Flame Dog here. While Joe finishes cleaning out Eblin here.
And look at that. Joe's Porum already has Berserk. He is jetting along.
Oh yeah, this is kind of that party where what we had can take you. You're really not looking for any other character. You're probably not going to Hobbs. Well, you might check for a Blue Robe. Baronin's kind of a key item, but you're really not going for it. Klopfer did pet the Flame Dog there. Only found a Diamond Armor. Murasame only in the in that. So other than Bedward's Pan, we haven't really seen much in the way of actual key items just yet.
Yeah, it's looking like K-Main. Well, K-Main has to hold the answer. But will K-Main continue to hold the answer once the players are underground? Ooh, Sid and Baronin.
Yeah, Sid. Everybody loves Sid in this flag set there. He was always a pretty good early game character anyway, but with the advent of him being able to wear some of the things he can't normally, that high strength, kind of low agility, can be mitigated by the fact that heroine robes do indeed exist, and he could pick up something better than a rune axe. So yeah, great things looking here for Sid as we cut down the first of the two elements, Mylon Z into Kenyatso here. Just a meeting of the early elements over here in Baron, but only a silent stick, so we could still fade Fabul, but it's kind of getting to the point where Fabul might actually have a progression.
That, and it's beginning to look like Mount Ordeals might hold something of value, if not exactly our progression.
Yeah, again, this is Horse Hook here. You're not going to find that Magma Key, which is why it's an objective anyway here. But yeah, we're running out of places here with Doggo out. We really only have Antlion, Fabool, and Ordeals left, knowing that Bedward is available. But hey, it's nice not having to go hunt down a Demist every seed, right?
Oh, I agree with you there. The Demus hunts make sometimes illogical plays worthwhile, and I prefer my illogical plays to be purely illogical.
Now again, look at all these Dragoon armors just landing on people. That's a imagine how you must feel having to wear 3 sets of Dragoon armor, one over the other. I mean, if you play Final Fantasy XIV, you know how many spikes those things have, right?
Oh, I would feel invincible. A duplicate Porum on Hobbs, and a Sparkle that Klopfer elects to leave alone.
Yeah, it's interesting. I might have checked just to see which Sparkle that is. Maybe that doesn't really matter so much there. I'm kind of a big person for just kind of knowing what I have or what I don't have to plan for here. Now, again, an OMG, you've got a lot of power. You really don't need to worry about it that much as Judgejoe heads down to Antlion. I don't know if that Porum has exit yet. Might not. Just some Dark Imps also.
She's probably
there.
very close.
Yes.
She gained a level there and did gain exit. She already has exit.
Yep. Oh, but there's our progression. There's our hook. And somebody's got a power staff because I think somebody just berserked a Dark Imp over there. Still not really probably any kind of issue there, but yep, Klopfer through the Fabool defense. Judgejoe has a hook. Hopefully we'll remember to pick up that pan from Bedward eventually. But we're going to go see if, well, we know Fabool is a single dip, but is it nice to go there anyway early? I mean, I'm not mad at hearing that. I'm not mad at seeing that Adamant Rock there. Forge not an objective, but Forge pretty good here. Judgejoe gonna look at that Moon Boss here. Might want to take it for a little more XP. No, just wants to see who it is. Thanks for the info. That was Plague.
Ooh, Plague with the prevalence of all the flying hits is not someone you want to see out of the way immediately.
No, Plague is probably the freest of the Moon Bosses there. So yeah, it's that. Klopfer says, okay, maybe this Murrow with this -5 agility, not the best thing to have on this Cid who has agility issues early here. So yeah, puts that long sword there. The one thing here was Omnidextrous is, hey, we can equip anything we want to in terms of weapons and shields in the first 2 slots there, and Edge's swords, while great for Edge in the vanilla base game, are kind of weighted for the whole thing that he's going to have 2 weapons all the time. And honestly, when everybody could, dual wield just about anything else in the game, they're not as good as you might think anymore.
No, the Murasame is not necessarily valuable for that 65 attack power, but for the agility manipulation and bonus to wisdom.
Yes, definitely good for that. Probably in terms of, moving stats, probably one of his best weapons there. But again, in terms of raw power, it just kind of falls behind so many other things as Klopfer does pick up that hook. Judgejoe picks up that Adamant Rock. And we'll kind of see as they've retraced their steps, they're a little bit even here. Klopfer is missing a couple Evelyn chests. Excuse me, I apologize for that there. But both of them are really going to have to make this, do I go to Ordeals or do I go just straight underground right now?
This party is certainly more than powerful enough and more than certainly armored enough to go underground. I wouldn't be surprised if both runners fade Ordeals in favor of diving the hook route.
Yeah, true. 3 bosses, however, up there, given that you are still hunting that gauntlet there, as Klopfer is headed over to raise that hovercraft. I'm going to guess is probably going to raise the hovercraft, take a look at those 2 trap chests that he did not clear, and is probably headed off there to the underground. Again, with the boss hunt still out there, I have a little bit of weight towards ordeals, but I know there's a lot of people, especially with the possibility of Dark Knight Cecil out there, who can just basically be that sweeper with that darkness command, as it does scale off of actual attack power as well. So yeah, there are plenty of reasons, especially with Tella not in the pool, to go to Mount Ordeals, or not to go to Mount Ordeals. But Judgejoe also going to get the bad news of, hey, that's a diamond armor. I don't really want that. Just leaves it in the chest. Doesn't even want it for money here, as we have not seen either of our runners actually go into any shops here. Not looking for life potions, curatives, restoratives of any kind. I mean, then again, you do have a very well-armored Porum here, who should be able to keep everybody mostly upright here as Joe goes to launch that hovercraft. Honestly, as this is going, both of them are going to be a little bit, like, Judge Joe might have a little bit of an edge here in terms of time here, as they both crossed over just about everything the other has done here. Klopfer has one more chest to hit, but both of them are probably going to be heading underground at very similar times here.
Yeah, this is looking to be about 20-25 minutes to the pitfall, depending on how rude those hook route bosses are, or if one of them goes to ordeals.
Yeah, I mean, Klopfer has already drugged the hovercraft down that way. Judge Joe just launched it. As you said, I don't really foresee either of our runners jumping at that ordeals. Again, may just be looking for... excuse me. You're just kind of hoping that maybe this is the fade that saves them a little bit of time here. But yeah, I also foresee not a whole lot of looting. Again, something down here. It is T-Pro. You really hoping to see a couple heroin ropes here. In boxes at least. I don't think they can appear. Oh, and look at all that money. Nothing really too much to spend it on in that item shop, sadly.
No, it is S Pro, so
yes.
Just about the only thing they'd probably be looking for is maybe a couple of good weapons to bring up their coverage, like those Mute Knives and Earth Hammers that Joe is buying. Just
man,
give me a stack of them.
10 Mute Knives, 10 Earth Hammers. Joe saying, here, I've got all the money, and yeah, so again, Mute Knives for mage killing, Earth Hammers for that fire elemental, and +5 strength on here. And Sid, he likes Earth Hammers. Why not give him 2? Yep. Do a little bit of rearranging. Both of them taking a look at some of the chests here. Don't blame them. Black Sword actually really good. Really great mage accessory there. Or Black Mage accessory. Does give plus wisdom. And overall, just really great to have. A tiara. Also, rune rings. Great for casters here on the way through. As Judge Joe does find his way to the Staleman chest here. But great things if, our character coming up is like a Palom, Iridia, or even a Fusoya there. Great to have, but that is none of the above. But Judgejoe going to be very happy. I did not see Klopfer shopping there, but Mute Knives for everybody, because that's a Sura coming up here.
Klopfer did go shopping. He only bought one Mute Knife, but, you don't hate to see Yang here. Yang makes for a good anchor. You just leave him on the floor, and he's nice. Yep. The rest of your party can do more than enough that you don't need Yang.
Yep. Judge Joe finding that Staleman chest there, finding it's in its original spot there, did come up with the Luca key. Something you're, happy enough to see, I guess.
You know, I'll be much happier to see it if this Mad Ogre's chest pulls out a Darkness Crystal, as that's the last spot where that's the last overworld spot.
Yep. And look at us throwing Yang into the middle for Klopfer with Jesse Murasame to tank that agility a little bit here. Pretty much announcing that Yang is going to be Klopfer's anchor of choice. And given the way that Yang's damage formula works, do not blame him in the slightest.
No, that damage formula is exactly why he's a restricted character on this flag set, to ensure that you don't have... So to ensure that in seeds where you get Yang on the hook route, you get him as your third character, and not a, Yang Edward hook route.
I mean, then you just have to let Edward hit things. Yes, I said it, I know, but, look, if we're going to let Rydia hit things from time to time, we're going to let Edward hit things from time to time.
You know, if Edward had just a little bit more HP, I'd be with you, but unfortunately in this flag set, Edward is also an anchor.
Look, we gave his spoon to the rest of the party and said, well, you could swing a crystal sword around, but you just don't have the hit points for it. I'm sorry, bud. Meanwhile, would you like another Dragoon armor? Because that's what the Bad Ogre's regarding.
Dragoon armor number 100. I'm wondering how many more we'll see in the sea.
Yeah, normally on most, non-OMGCs, I'm kind of happy to see it, honestly, but around here, not so much. Also, I had to quiz myself in a moment here, just looking to see if, just trying to remember. I'm like, wait, who was on Hook 2 again? I can't. Oh yeah, that was Asura there. I even made the mute knife joke and everything else. And obligatory is this even KQE at KQE.
Only about 5,000 hit points here. It is faster to knock them out, put them out of their misery, rather than sit through it.
Edge, please go kill your parents. Thank you very much. Wait, that came out wrong. No, it didn't.
And I think that was a Berserk miss. It doesn't have 100% accuracy, and if he doesn't have any wisdom boosting gear on Porum at these low levels, she can just whiff it.
Yeah, and it is a little interesting to see her whiff it there, because I didn't see any kind of heroin robe or anything that would actually tank her casting power, so that's a little bit of a rare miss here. Normally you're used to seeing it when you have something like heroin robes, where it does reduce that stat in question there. But yeah, bad luck, but I mean, not really a huge issue here, as Judgejoe is marching right into this Asura fight, and I'm really guessing it's just going to be a we berserk the edge. We really don't care too much about that Cure 4 is going to undo that first hit there. Normally you're kind of worried about how this is going, but not so much, as Edge is going to just continually hit here, and sooner or later you're going to get her off of that Cure 4 face here. Might need to tap her once or twice to get her off that Cure 4 face. Well, Berserk's happening now. Actually, did Judgejoe go to Silent Staff instead of Mute Knife there?
The Silent Staff is a higher power than the Mute Knife, and I believe similar accuracy, so it is a slightly better damage.
Okay, I learned a thing there, but yeah, okay, he just did go to that Silent Staff, and I was wondering about that accuracy, because that damage variance is a little weird there. He was doing a couple 3,000 before getting up into those 6,000s here. Does knock over the Yang here. But yeah, okay, with those big hits there, yeah, down goes Asura. Klopfer taking a little bit more time here to set up the double veil. Does not want those Cure 4s happening here. Don't blame him to a point here. Again, really, you're really going to want those Star Veils still for a Golbez or a or a wyvern popping up. Otherwise, you probably get away just fine with those. And they should be, for sale somewhere in the seed, and it's not like we don't have money.
Well, you won't necessarily need those Star Veils for Wyvern because the Witchburn flag is on, and that's a blue robe at the top of tower. If there's ever been a time to do keyless tower, it is right now.
I mean, especially with that being an objective here in the OMG seeds, that's just, a even more impetus to go walk over there, head to the top of the tower, pick up all the eyeballs on the way up, especially with that Earth Hammer that I believe Judgejoe is at least rocking. I'm gonna guess Klopfer might have too, because those will one-shot those alerts going up. So yeah, this is definitely a let's go ahead and about face right back into that tower here and pick up possibly 2 objectives. Judgejoe says, no, I'm going to the Fey March, so what do I know?
It's Judgejoe. We should have seen this coming. Judgejoe and the Fey March are a match made in heaven. Joe loves the march. The march loves to show Joe why he shouldn't love the march.
Something like that, yes, but he has a Blinkcaster, so okay, that's all the shade I'm going to throw right there. Klopfer is now underground. Both of our runners underground. Before 24 minutes there, as Klopfer does get the news here, we do have a blue robe and an objective here, and gonna put up Dragoon Earth. I don't know if you actually have... Okay, you're healing Edge up here. Do you have the sweepers to deal with that Warrior's chest?
It looks like he's just going to go for melee on the Warrior's chest.
Yeah. Well, then again, that is a lot of Dragoon armor. Not sure why you healed up before having to step over a bunch of more damage tiles again, but what do I know?
I mean, it's not often that you're coming and doing melee on the Warriors in this flag set. He may have just forgotten.
Yeah. Again, they're probably not going to be taking more than one. Klopfer also declines to go immediately there and is headed to turn in that pan. Maybe pick up the Toad Lady chest as well here.
It's likely. He also has enough Wisdom Gear to clear the Ghost chests with Edge's Blitz spell, though it looks like he is going immediately and straight for the pan turn, and what do I know? K-Summon is off, so this is only going to be a shiny item, but it could be something as shiny as, say, an Avenger.
Yeah, an Avenger would be absolutely great. A Dragon Whip, not terrible if you're looking to fight a dragon or two, but we already do have a Dragoon Spear, so we did have our dragon base covered already on both sides, so not the best of things you're looking to find courtesy of the Sylphs here, but we are going to get those 2 King Main checks in Sheila 1 and 2 out of the way, and maybe that's just Klopfer looking for, maybe this is maybe it's got a tower key and I only have to single dip tower or something like that.
Though, as we've seen time and time again on K-Trap, that tower key could just be somewhere else in the tower.
That tower key loves hiding out in that tower. It knows where its home is. Meanwhile, Warrior's Chest does offer a rat tail. Not terrible to see here. Meanwhile, Sheila handing over a Baron Key and a Crystal Shield. Well, I mean, the thing is, with that being behind Sheila, that Baron Key could actually hold our Magma Key. Just the same as that Rat Tail could be, as Judgejoe's gonna give us a look down here, which is interesting because we know where a blue robe is, but there's the other blue robe. That's interesting. So we know where both blue robes are now.
And here's Klopfer just outside of Dwarf Castle. Maybe chasing a 5th character, looking maybe for a slightly more reliable sweeper than Edge, or just another warm body to pad the queue.
Could be that there. Judgejoe's gonna give us the news here. We don't see any animation there. So we do know that's an antlion, a dwarf 1. We do know that we only have the water hag here. So that lower Babbo play is definitely a double and hard required now.
And of course, Judgejoe is sitting through the waterfall because while Case Summon is off, it could be a nice shiny, it could be an Avenger.
Yeah. Yeah, and Water Hag not doing him any favors, knocking out a couple people you might want to get some of that XP here. Again, I'm wondering if they're wearing all that Dragoon armor that is not burning a hole in their equipment and their bag here, as both of them did not sell all of it, definitely not. But that Water Hag not taking any prisoners here, but Edge is going to get that third hit in. And the question is it anything decent here that was worth taking this Water Hag? And survey says, nope, that's just Leviathan Orb.
Just French vanilla.
Yeah, very French vanilla. Yeah, I guess that would have been technically from the other side here. As Klopfer is running through Dwarf here. Now the good news is Judgejoe now has full information in that lower Babel here is required, but is also heading straight for that pan. Both of them are runners, even knowing that blue robe is up here. Both of them are avoiding lower Babel, and that's a little interesting to me, honestly, here.
Well, they both committed to a double dip of Fabul. Maybe they are not wanting to at all see the double dip of the tower.
Yep, and now you're seeing all that. Yeah, that. Oh, I didn't even see the Stardust rod here, but yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. This Judgejoe is loading up here.
Might that Stardust rod have been the Fey March freebie?
I thought that was no, that was it could have been the Fey March freebie. I did look away. That rat tail was Warrior's chest. That's right. Meanwhile, an Ogopogo in Dwarf 2. Unfortunately, that's bad news for everybody not named Edge or Cecil in that party. Okay, I guess Forum stays upright as well here. Does get that Dark Knight Cecil there, so you kind of found your sweeper.
I prefer to... I think they have more than enough gear to sweep with Edge. It might be worthwhile, in fact, to go check the mountain for a key item, knowing that with the knowledge of where the gauntlet is. Well, Joe knows where the gauntlet is, and Klopfer knows where it might be. Thinking with the value of Ordeal's Greatest diminished greatly, if there's something there, their opponent might not get it.
That is true enough. Judgejoe has found his way to the Poison Treasury here, is using that Edge to sweep up here. And I believe we were told not to make any Artemis Arrow jokes.
The Artemis Arrows aren't a dead meme, but it's Artemis Arrows from the Pink Tail.
Speaking of dead key items, that's a package, and knowing where both blue robes are in the seed, it's one for the pile for Klopfer, but it's really only going to get you closer to that Judgejoe taking the second ghost chest there. Only gets a defense sword, as Klopfer now is headed to Lower Babel. Second Dragon Whip, 0 for 3 here so far. Did buy a stack of Ether 2s, which was probably a really good idea, and is coming up with the Cure 3s here, as some of these other fights here, okay, the Centipedes are pretty free, but everything after that, in terms of the more balls on the Dark Trees, I do think does kind of take issue with... or is not one-shot blitzable. Well, maybe with that kind of damage there. First eyeball down, got a Bahamut for Klopfer, and Judgejoe finding a great piece of hardware with the spoon. Somebody's going to have max attack very soon, and it's going to be Sid.
And leveraging the plus 10 strength from the power staff to make the Spoon's Power Staff combo falls somewhere in between the X-Cal and the Crystal Sword in terms of usefulness on average.
does get away with the breath only hitting one character there in the Sid. With Porums and People, that was not a great thing. I did not see what came out of the second chest in Lower Babel. I knew no Klopfer hit it, but I did not see what came out of it. Third chest, just an Assassin Dagger, nothing you're looking for there. And more Artie arrows. Trap chests, aside from that rat tail, coming up kind of short in the seed here. Last eyeball goes down, just a ninja star, so nothing you want to see there. And we are told that it was a ninja shirt in the second. Well, look at that frog Sid just dropping an earth hammer to actually get that kill. That's pretty heads up, actually, knowing that you can still use the earth hammer as an item here, just to kind of get that little bit there. However, the poison treasury is 0 for 6. Well, okay, 1 for 6. I guess the spoon was there.
The spoon was there, and while the spoon is not progression, the spoon is nice.
Yep. Meanwhile, Klopfer going to get the news here, going to get the good news that, yes, you have found your alt gauntlet here and will not have to worry about hitting either of the Feymarch bosses here. Judgejoe has made his way to the Toad Lady chest here. Gonna sweep this up in quick fashion here as well. And that's odd. Oh no, I'm like, wait a minute, that's odd. Why did he take another encounter? And I'm like, oh wait, he's fighting the alt gauntlet. I just, I know what I'm talking about.
And there's the Sand Ruby from the Toad Lady chest. Another sort of dead-end key item. But it could be Fusoya. We've only seen 5 of our 7 characters.
True. Just throw it on the pile here as Judgejoe is going to get that pan reward here, such as it is. We are, however, running out of places for where that magma key is. Could still be under that rat tail, could be up here in Upper Babel, or Lower Babel, sorry. But again, I guess it really could be on the moon here, because, well, unless the Darkness Crystal's on Bound Ordeals, then that bet's off, so...
The Baron key was from Sheila 1, right?
The Baron key was from Sheila 1, so Baron could have it as well there, because you did have to get underground to... Now, see, I like this from Judgejoe here, where, now, sure, yes, we know that Sheila does not have the pink tail, but I do like, if I have one of the tails, dropping the hovercraft off when I'm going to turn in that pan, checking the 2 key item checks to see if Sheila's got it, and then, hey, if she hands over the pink tail, or the rat tail in this case, then you get to go check them both at the same time. Now, we know that's not going to happen, but... Ooh, but that's a Darkness Crystal up on Lower Babel there. So, Lower Babel, a triple now.
The infamous triple. A triple required keyless tower. You love to see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Baron Key or something could have, the tower key, but yeah, that's a really spicy, and again, I feel like I would have felt a lot better just about facing into Lower Babel from the pitfall, but that's just me. Meanwhile, Rat Tail zonks into Crystal Ring. Great piece of equipment. Not exactly what Judgejoe's looking for, though.
No, but that Crystal Ring will be clutch if Golbez shows up somewhere required, like, say, Cave Value.
True, it will nullify the hold gas there. So now Klopfer's going to head to the Feymarch freebie, possibly the Warrior's chest as well here. Oh, Cecily just started with a black sword. What a nice guy.
And it looks like Joe is continuing his hunt for the tower key, going now into Dwarf Castle as the second to last resort before finally doing Keyless Tower.
I mean, Luca Key is still available too. We had that going early as well. Neither of them have, and it's again, knowing where your gauntlet is and knowing it's just a key item check, it's definitely a little hard justifying heading there. Well, at least if I were in Klopfer's shoes, because I have a darkness crystal in my pocket. Judgejoe might go for it there. And it's kind of the whole thing where, you know where your objectives are, or at least you know where this objective is. And it's hard just to say, let's go do it and see where it leads me. In this case, it leads you to everything, or at least, half of your things. Exactly half of your things so far. Could be more. So Klopfer about to get that rat tail as well. Might be underwhelmed at the reward here. That Stardust Rod going to be pretty big. Judgejoe going to be picking up that Dark Knight Cecil. I wonder if either of our runners will still be wondering if maybe, just maybe, the answer's on Mount Ordeals for some of my other stuff here. I don't feel like it, especially when we know where our boss hunt is now, but...
It could be something like Twin Harp holding the Legend Sword.
Oh, it absolutely very well could be. Yeah, with the number of key items we still need, again, Legend Sword, Twin Harp, Earth Crystal, Magma Key, which we still haven't found yet, and it's looking like it actually has to be at Luca or behind the Baron Key now, which is kind of interesting.
It could be on the moon.
It could be on the moon, yes, true.
We got the Dark Crystal underground.
True. Yeah, that's right. I am thinking a little bit, I forget the Dark Crystal was underground. And I don't know why I keep assuming it was above ground there, but yes, okay, yeah. Magma Key's somewhere.
Well, it's a little more interesting when it's above ground, because then it's like, oh.
Yeah. The only place we know where, the only place where we know where it is not is Mount Ordeals.
And here we see Klopfer padding his lead a little, not having to check the Feymarch bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. There, knowing that Case Summon is not on and just has that is unfortunately going to be tasked with heading to flight school there after landing on the edge of the crater. Unfortunate there. Is going to pick up that hovercraft. Now, Judgejoe is up the Poison Treasury that Klopfer has not done. Actually, most of the Sylph Trap chest there. So, Klopfer's a little bit of a looking like he's got a lead. Not as big as you might think, but again, Klopfer could just completely say, I'm not going to Sylph anyway. And again, aside from a spoon, that wouldn't hurt him too bad here, as Judgejoe is going to take a look at that Luca Key, is doing everything except the objective here that he knows is there, the double. Looking for that tower key. It's a little interesting, but, could pay out. But again, everything else is kind of zonked here as Klopfer is raising that whale.
With a moment to think here, where do you think Klopfer is going to be heading first with this lunar whale?
Well, first off, I would absolutely just straight up peek K Bahamut and see what I have to fight there. Obviously, we don't have anything like Sirens for Gold Dragons or anything, even though we do have Dragon Killers. And maybe a stop at the Hummingway Cave just to see some of the item shops. Again, all the money in the world, and yes, I know it's S Pro, but our runners have checked all of one shop, maybe two, over in Cave Evelyn.
Joe checked the Fey March, and there's the Legend Sword in Cave in.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that did pay out there. So yeah, that's huge because Klopfer is not going to see that for some time. So yeah, that Legend Sword giving Joe a little bit of a bailout here. As we do find a couple of D-Lunars, Klopfer is headed to hair dryers first because I totally forgot about those, but that's totally a fine play to hit those early here. Also, thank you, Possum Morpheus, for the raid in here. We are about 43 minutes in. We do know that the Alt Gauntlet is on top of Aquila's Tower here. However, Judgejoe has exhausted pretty much everything and has finally been paid out by Legend Sword, which is on Luca K, which is kind of the big difference between the two, other than Judgejoe doing the Poison Treasury so far. Klopfer on the moon with that Darkness Crystal, also from Lower Babel, which had all the goods here, and is now taking hair dryers. Our starting kit did include a 99 Dragoon Armors.
Are there any interesting items you think are going to show up in the forge? Maybe heroine robes?
That would be absolutely huge for Joe there. Again, they have all the money in the world here, so you know what? You know what's better than 99 Dragoon Armors? About 15 heroine robes. Although in lieu of heroine robes, that power shirt isn't too bad either there for Klopfer. Really one of the first big pieces of strength boosting armor we've seen in this seed. It's been kind of stingy. Again, runners haven't been shopping all that much, but especially with their large bankroll. But again, like I said, the stuff to buy just really isn't there aside from some consumables here. Klopfer says no to K Bahamut so far, no to the Hummingways, and is headed straight to the LST by looks of it. Looks like is loading up for that red giant chest with poison axes twice over there. Judgejoe does have exit, however, sealed cave is unexitable. Cannot exit out of the sealed cave. Can warp, but can't exit.
In all but the first and next to last room, where the cutscenes occur, they wanted to make sure that you see those cutscenes.
Meanwhile, yeah.
Well, we won't talk about Dwarf Castle.
Yep. Rune Axe is the best thing going in there in a Requiem harp, which isn't a terrible harp actually, but Klopfer does let the Yang go, equips the Murasame to a fresh Palom, which is the even better anchor, at least if nothing else is there. But yeah, so not the hardware you were looking for, but it was an objective, so that's good. Judgejoe now going to head to the triple in Lower Babel here. And again, with that Luca key or that Legend Sword in hand, that's actually really big over what Klopfer's got here. But anyway, I did see Klopfer load up with Poison Axes here. Gonna be doing lots of damage here to these red giants. While taking a moment to... we did not play Guess That Fortune, chat. Chat, I am disappointed. I mean, wait, what? So Judgejoe is going to head up and hit all the eyeballs on the way up. Is going to get the bad news that it's pretty much Zonk City going all the way up here, aside from that Darkness Crystal up at the top here. Again, Bahamut Orb, Assassin Dagger, Ninja Shirt, and something else. I think more Arty Arrows, because of course. Meanwhile, oh, Klopfer, not a spoon there, but that X-Scal's kind of nice.
9 times out of 10, I'd prefer an X-Cal over the spoon because of that plus 10 strength.
Absolutely there, yeah. So, especially with 2 weapons there, somebody gonna get that, yeah, gonna drop that Poison Axe there for that X-Scal. And yeah, gonna load up on some attack gear with that edge, and I mean, that's kind of an interesting when you say that Forge is practically scrap metal. I'm not exactly sure how good that Requiem Harp is, honestly.
The Requiem Harp is a -5 to all stats with the high 160s for power. It is Joe put it on Young there because, well, he wanted to be absolutely sure his anchoring was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep, got life glitches coming out from Klopfer here. Again, Moon Chest, wonderful for XP here, and again, we're missing a few key items here. We're not on any specific boss hunt anymore with knowing where that All Gauntlet is. And again, Judgejoe is up the Poison Treasury right now, but aside from that spoon, we know the Poison Treasury is dead. So this is actually good for Klopfer. And oh my, Moon has the hardware as holy swords everywhere. You get an Excalibur, you get a Crystal Sword, and we're off to just murder everything through the power of big sticks.
And there's Klopfer pairing the Crystal Sword and the Black Sword, going for both of Cecil's ultimate weapons on one character.
Sure, why not?
I don't know why not, but I can think of a lot of reasons why. Primarily being that the Black Sword is actually really high accuracy. I believe it's 90%.
I believe you're probably pretty close there. Got some Mega Sisters here, and the thing is, you know what's good against the Mega Sisters? 99 Dragoon Armors, because until you get to that virus part of their script, really not doing much against you here as, yeah, we've got a Mute Dagger coming out, we've got all those pieces of holy hardware coming out. Yeah, that's a problem. You probably want to get that edge fixed here sooner rather than later.
The attack was still queued against a sister.
Okay, yes.
So Klopfer was frankly saved by that being quick on his inputs.
Yeah, that edge was really quick. There's that tower key that Judgejoe was looking for the longest time down underground there. And interesting, Klopfer hitting the exit spell. Now might be going to like take a rest in the whale here or something to that effect instead of going back. I do not see Klopfer going back to, back to the blue planet to check this tower key. Yep, just saving outside here. But yes, as Dakar says here, yes, keyless tower was absolutely required, as Judgejoe is picking up 2 objectives here, and again, picks up the Darkness Crystal, so it does have 4 objectives in hand to Klopfer's technical 3 here. But Klopfer does have part of the moon already mapped out here, and if Klopfer is committing to a full complete of the moon here, isn't going to be wasting time on the Poison Treasury. But again, the big thing is Klopfer does not know that the Legend Sword is behind Sealed Cave, so does need to find basically everything else here in order to make sure, or in order to keep it kind of close, so to speak.
Well, luckily for him, everything else kind of has to be here. The only overworld spots we haven't seen are Baron Castle and the Super Cannon reward.
True, and about the only other places that could be behind is Zot. No, Klopfer did get that Baron key. Where did Klopfer get that Baron key from? Because I feel like
Baron key was Sheila 1.
Ah, right. Judgejoe has not been. Judgejoe's been to Sheila, I thought. Okay. Yeah, I think Judgejoe does have that Baron key, actually. So, again, Klopfer sets up for Behemoth here, takes that one out pretty quickly. It gets a sword you're normally happy to have, but that Hanzo Steel, unfortunately, not really worth it at this point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Joe did go back to Fabul there, eventually. Meanwhile, it's time for everybody's favorite pair of double dragons here. Bimmy and Jimmy here, the red and the blue dragons here, as Sid has that Dragoon Spear. And you know what makes that blue dragon a lot less scary with that Blizzard attack? Taking Niners. That Blizzard is based on the blue dragon's hit points, and, well, after it takes some Niners, it's really not that scary anymore.
Here's a fun fact. The Dragon Whip, the Dragoon Spear, is quad effective against the red dragon, but only doubly effective against the blue dragon because the blue dragon resists the wind element attached to the Dragoon Spear.
Yep. Just a white shirt in the Bimmy and Jimmy chest. Meanwhile, spicy again. Judgejoe playing really defensive, cleaning out the blue planet by the looks of it, and is headed up Mount Ordeals.
With the amount of power he has, he should be able to, multi-target bosses notwithstanding, one-shot everything here.
Bosses you're normally happy to see on most other tournament flags, but yeah, that D-Miss not carrying anything here for us other than a quick boss fight here. Gonna take 3 hits here, but no key item there. Yes, John Burkhead, I am not saying anything, but yeah, Judgejoe not going to the moon as Klopfer picks up yet another Holy Sword from the moon. Meanwhile, Klopfer finds that he's right up on the inventory boss and says, I'm not fighting that thing. Let's go drop a bunch of stuff now. Meanwhile, I saw French Vanilla, Mylon, and Friends over there as we do have the double red dragon fight here for Klopfer. Judgejoe going to trade in that Cecil for a slightly shinier Cecil.
Did Joe remember to take any of the equipment off? Oh, he reset out. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because that's just a crystal gauntlet and nothing there. So Judgejoe is finally headed for the moon. Now, do mind, we still have Last Arm kind of hovering out there. Could have something on it there. But Klopfer has cleaned out a good chunk of these moon chests already. Is that Z levels already? That's a magma key. That's an objective. And after that, Klopfer says, I'm not going to take any more of these chests. I'm going to head down to the altars and try my luck at finding anything. So we know Klopfer is 1 key item away from go mode now. Two key items still. Sorry. Does need, obviously is not going to find the Legend Sword there, but does need to find both the Earth Crystal and the Twin Harp, and is going for K main checks here, it does look like.
Well, you said he was trying his luck, but mathematically, these K-Moon checks are more likely to pay out with key items. So he's hit his luck, and now he's playing the numbers game.
Yep, that's a bike, and normally kind of scary here, but Yeah, well protected, and honestly, with all the holy hardware that Klopfer has right now, this Baigen is not scary. Oh, Judgejoe heading to the Giant now. Really kind of just trying to pick up everything except for that Baron Key. Both runners have the Baron Key. Both runners have not decided to go chase that Baron Key. I mean, possibly, because both runners do know that, Gauntlet is already off the table here. But, yeah, the Baron Trash Can still looming, still potentially got something in it. Down goes Baigen. That could also be the thing, is that was 10 key items for Klopfer. Klopfer says, hey, I'm going to get all this XP to go along with it. And nothing great in the treasure chest, unfortunately, so that's not great. But is heading to the next altar in line here, and is going to see Leg.
And Ice Gear isn't exactly necessary when you're swinging for 4k, about to be about 6k at a spot with as little health as this.
Yeah, and actually I believe that Berserk went on to Cecil because, yep, that's a Blizzard Spear, and that Cecil's swinging for Niners here, so yeah. Meanwhile, same Niners to that last arm chest here, so Judgejoe going to be paid out with an Artie Bow. Unfortunate, nothing on the eyeball here. As, Cecil took a glare. That's unfortunate.
Just about the one character in his party that was not ready to take that glare.
Comes back, swings for nearly 9,000, and is rewarded with a speech.
Ruby's saying he shall return. Have we seen the Elements fight yet?
We have not seen the Elements fight. We have seen every element except for Val so far. Just a life stick, unfortunately, there. So, again, just missing a few trap chests. The thing is, yeah, Judgejoe is just turning out to the LST right now. Klopfer is mostly done with the moon here. Does have to go back and pick up K Bahamut, but we know that K Bahamut is terminal with K Summon off, so you can kind of do it at your leisure here.
And Klopfer hasn't seen Evil Wall. There are still some bosses which you might want that Moon XP for before you go into Cave Bahamut.
Yeah, true. Yeah, hasn't seen that Evil Wall, does not know where Water Hat. Dark Elf is about to have the most Monday of Mondays here, as normally he's just scared of a Cecil, but all non-Porum fighters here are wielding some flavor of Holy Sword.
And we see that Judgejoe is elected to ditch Cecil in favor of this Lunar Palom.
That is interesting, given that I believe that you're already handling anchoring duties, and has already completed itself, so that's interesting there. Meanwhile, there we go. There's some payoff. We have Earth Crystal. So we do know now, we are in no mode, we know where everything except the Twin Harp is. So, yeah, so Klopfer's got a few more things to kind of chase down here. But both of them now with, Klopfer with 5 objectives in hand, Judgejoe with 4. And I know there's a monster chest or 2 here. Klopfer sticking with the whole, we're going to go check the altars before we finish up with the boxes here. So going with the higher percentage K-Moon checks over DK trap here, which I get and agree with.
Yeah, if I remember the math correctly, 3 of the moon altar rewards are guaranteed to be in the pool, whereas only 2 are of the lunar traps are guaranteed to be in the pool, and that's just being considered for a key item, not whether or not they actually receive one.
Yeah. Anyway, Ruby said he'd be back. He's kind of back.
But not for long. If that ice weapon is still equipped.
It is, but okay, yes, it's not going to get that. There comes a fire too. The magic power at this spot, not the greatest here. And never mind, doesn't even get to see the ice weapon as, yeah. So the thing is, Judgejoe is going bottom up. He is not hitting any of the chests on the way as Klopfer grabs the defense sword. So we do know that Judgejoe is going to find that Earth Crystal in fairly short order, but is not going to find that Magma Key as quickly there. So Klopfer is headed back, or is probably actually just headed to Cave Bahamut to pick up that objective here. Interesting, because
Magma Key?
Magma Key was it on this oh wow, if it is on this behemoth chest.
It wasn't on this behemoth, but it was
it Bimmy and Jimmy? I think it might have, no, it wasn't Bimmy and Jimmy, because that was just a white shirt.
It might have been Jimmy and Jimmy.
Ooh, yes, it actually was Jimmy and Jimmy. Yes, that was it.
Which means that if this is the route I think it is, Joe is on his way.
Yeah, that's not a great news for Klopfer here, even though Klopfer has been mostly ahead here. But yeah, that is a big thing here. Yep, just the Masamune on this behemoth here. Now, I do know that talking with Judgejoe is a very big proponent of Bimmy and Jimmy. I don't know about Jimmy and Jimmy here, but it could be going to fight that too. Is holding on to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, is holding on to 10 key items, so could call that a grind here. But there's the Bimmy and Jimmy chest.
And there, yeah, this is going to be very quick. Lots of XP. Might even get Palom to nuke with these trap chests and the ribbon room if he likes to do it.
Yeah, that is. It's kind of interesting because it kind of feels like that might be a little more here. Anyway, we have some grade A vanilla in the Bahamut spot here as we found Bahamut. Meanwhile, Palom's Fire 1 is enough to kill himself. Things you don't normally hear, but...
Oh, he does have a Murasame on, doesn't he? The extra multiplier might have been the difference.
I think he might actually have the Black Sword on too, now that I think about it. But anyway, down goes Bahamut, so Klopfer is cashing in on... oh. Well...
There's our Avenger.
So now Klopfer has some decisions here. Now, Klopfer we did find the tower key on the moon. We found the Earth Crystal on the moon. We do know that Mount Ordeals, which Klopfer has not checked, is a bust. But Klopfer is going to have to find this Twin Harp, or is going to have to head to Sealed Cave, which is where we know the Legend Sword is, to kind of stay in this pretty quickly, as I believe... Okay, Judgejoe finds the X-Gal here, while Edge does pick up that Avenger. Why not? We already know where CPU is. About the only thing is... Oh, okay, is saving and going to check the eyeball. Okay. But if I'm thinking right, that is the Jimmy and Jimmy chest here, so Judgejoe is going to find that Magma Key here.
Joe does not yet have the Earth Crystal. The Earth Crystal is at the Masamune altar. We just think it'll be, but he'll probably be receiving it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, yeah, the interesting part really is here, that Klopfer did leave a few items behind as, yep, that's Judgejoe picking up the magma key. So Judgejoe is one item away from go as well now, and we do know that one is back down on the, yep, Palom one level away from nuke here, which is interesting considering we just picked him up at the top here. It is kind of interesting. Now, again, Judgejoe picked up that Palom without knowing where all that holy hardware was. And I do believe, actually, that Judgejoe is on one of the chests here that Klopfer skipped. Yep, and Klopfer finds that Artie bow, says no thanks. Palom dropping stones out here. Klopfer going to drop that magma key in. Sure, why not? That's an objective. Ribbon, okay, not in that chest.
It could still be in one of the other two chests, that
True.
Klopfer faded.
Yeah, and yeah, because I'm missing one of the behemoths still, and I believe this is the other Warlock and Kari's here, yep. And I do believe that Klopfer did not take this one. But Klopfer is going to go cash in that Earth Crystal here. And I wonder if that's going to be running up Zod as well, and I would guess it very much is.
Oh, the nice clean Zot into Baron play.
Yeah, again, Baron is something we haven't seen here. Again, Klopfer just really wants to see it in Zot here because with Judgejoe bearing down on that Earth Crystal, he is running out of time. I mean, I know it looks like he's up 5-3 right now, but yeah.
Just an Avenger, which once one of two that Joe is going to get.
Yes, the other Avenger up in Cape Hummet practically guaranteed here. As Klopfer is heading up, Zod is going to go through Baron. Again, good routing, just we just know that Luca key check really paid out for Judgejoe. And Judgejoe is, okay, heading for the Ribbon Room, which I get, because, hey, that's 200,000 XP. About the only thing you really don't want to see here as Klopfer. Well, two things. Two bosses you don't want to see here. One, time-consuming in Golbez. The other, in where you'd rather have a sweeper active for dolls, and that's just Yang. Okay. You're just going to avenge right through him.
Well, you say that, but Klopfer does have a sweeper active with DKC.
Oh, true, yeah. Starkwave could just handle that there. You're going to get a swing or two in from that edge, but yeah, that is fine. Yeah, with DKC still available. As Judgejoe finishes up the Ribbon Room, is going to be rewarded with this nothing and nothing. Speaking of DKC, there's DKC. Klopfer does not know that Ordeals is a Zonk. Klopfer still actually has Sylph possibly in his mind as well. There are a couple rabbit holes for Klopfer to fall down into. Has not yet and may not. Again, Baron Key in hand and probably headed there after the fact, I would guess. Okay, just some guards here. Didn't get any of the worst of it there. I'm just going to carve through these guards real fast like. And we're going to see if Zot is what Klopfer needs here as Judgejoe gets the bad news of a life stick.
And here's Joe running down to the Masamune altar, about to receive his Earth Crystal.
Yep,
to
that will
receive
be.
go mode.
Yep. Klopfer needs a Twin Harp here to stay in things, and that's just Defense Sword. I mean, still could have a little bit of time, and that's just going to be okay. They both have pass. But I would say by the time that Klopfer gets in, that's right, pass was the starting item. Yeah, Klopfer might still be in it with a Baron trash can check here, but yeah, we're just kind of running out of rope here with Judgejoe bearing in on go mode, and that is a party that is more than Z ready. Both of them have parties that are just going to absolutely steamroll this Aromas here, so that's not going to be a problem.
And Joe showing off a little, casting weak on the Dark Elf despite his DPS.
Yeah, a little bit, but there you go. There's your Earth Crystal. There's your go mode for Judgejoe. Hour 12 in, hour 13 in. But yeah, gonna just run right out of here. Probably exit right out. Meanwhile, we've got a Lunar Sparkle here at Baron 1, which we knew at, like the 30-second mark, but hey, I don't remember that far back.
Yeah, if the person that hands me my starting item is not required, I have no idea what it is.
Yep. Meanwhile, Palom unfortunately gained a few levels. Whoops. Oh well. He's still fine. Klopfer has more than enough power here to worry about an anchor being a little bit up here with all those berserkers with holy swords. It's not a problem, really. Anyway, hey, we found the last of the elements here. Val hanging out on the Baron throne here. So if you got both your Connect 4s in the elements fight and all of the elements at once here, so if you had that on your bingo card, good job. Alright, down goes Val. Judgejoe swinging that Avenger around here on this Bahamut, who is not long for this world. It did not prepare for an extremely angry ninja. Few do. And hey, that's a Yong. He's kind of still an anchor, actually, but Klopfer says, no, my Palom didn't gain that many levels. I'm fine. He's right, but okay. So Judgejoe getting that 4th objective here, and that's Avenger. Klopfer about to get the news here. Again. And inventory boss claiming 50 Dragoon armors. That's quite the toll.
I say it's a small price to pay for knowing exactly where in your inventory the crystal is.
True. Also, yeah, that's... Anyway, up just a pigtail in the Baron trash can. And unfortunately, that might be because, again, Judgejoe, his levels are in the 60s. He's in go mode. All he needs to do is go unlock a door. And otherwise, Klopfer getting the too little too late is headed where he needs to be going. But all Judgejoe needs to do is unlock a few doors and toss a key down a well, and he is ready to go to Z here. It's going to be close, but I don't really see Judgejoe... really don't see Z getting any good wipes against him right now. Not with how strong that party is.
Yeah, with this much power, we might not even see the first Big Bang.
That is true. This could be a zero Big Bang.
Yeah, if Joe just goes for it, throws nukes, and did Porum learn white for him?
They're all near level 60, so yeah, Porum definitely has white. So Klopfer is headed where he needs to go. We still don't know where that Twin Harp is. We can hazard a few guesses. Most of them involve possibly being behind that tower key or one of the last chests that were not picked up here. But Judgejoe racing towards, after throwing that Magma Key down, racing towards opening that Earth Crystal. And hey, you're already in Troya. You're right near where that pass needs to be turned in. Life is good, right?
Yeah, it's when you receive the Earth Crystal late, it's great when you have the pass.
Mhm.
There's no reason to loot the treasury at this point.
I was about to say,
Joe's remembering
Joe,
that he has to turn it in.
order of
Luckily
operations, my friend.
before.
It's like, okay, I'm ready to go fight Z, and wow, that would have been huge there had Judgejoe went
Joe didn't
in.
even get the crystal when he hit
Oh
the
yeah,
inventory
yeah.
box.
Had
He
he
throw
walked
things
in
away.
there, yeah, had he walked in and then found out that he did not have the crystal, it would have been a lot closer because okay, now the crystal is going into his inventory. Klopfer needs to finish this fight, warp out, and forge. So again, it's not like Klopfer is super behind. It's just that both of these parties are going to grind Z under the collective force of all their power here because they've got a lot of it.
And we're seeing some flags in chat. So I suppose it's time to pose a question or two.
Has Z stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night? No? Okay.
I don't think so. I think he's been sitting up here and stewing. But in reality, he's big, he's bad, he's mean. He is the embodiment of hatred. And with all of that spite and hatred, we can't just put him in an antlion cave. That'd be rude.
Oh, no. So in
with
addition
leading
to
in
so in addition to asking whose butt are we going to kick tonight, because we have to ask that. But what is your favorite Z sprite?
I think Meltanomus, the Pokemon one.
Ooh, good choice. I do remember that one because I remember playing the release of Meltanomus. So yeah, that's a good one. I do like that there. I do believe my favorite one actually is Amanimus, the Mana Goddess from Legend of Mana. One of my favorite games out there. But yeah, that is definitely one of my favorite ones. And now we've got capitalism. I mean Wariomus here.
The true end boss, capitalism.
Mm-hmm. Crystal in hand for Klopfer. Nuke's starting to fly out, and yeah, I guess the question is here: are we going to see Zero Big Bang Z here? Power might be a little low for it, maybe. Well, maybe not. No, Judgejoe is going
throwing
for
out.
it.
And
yep.
With the white nukes, it's enough. With the Zerkers alone, it wouldn't have been.
Ooh, that's a big hit there. And yeah, there it is. Zero Big Bang Z. Well done.
Brilliant. I love seeing this. Big Bang? What's that?
Yeah. You don't have to worry about Z script if there's no Z to script. That's right. Meanwhile, we have just been joined by our winner here of game 1 of 3 here, Judgejoe. Congratulations and well fought on that Zero Big Bangs are almost there.
Thanks. It's been a lot of fun with all of these seeds in practice, just sort of figuring out what party setups, how much strength, what does it take to hit that Zero Big Bang.
Yep.
Is that why you took Callum?
I took a Palom because he learned Stone.
All
That's
right.
it.
So
That's
my
it. That's-
biggest question of the seed here is: it is 23 minutes in. You have just hit the pitfall. You see a blue robe.
Yep.
You see a required lower battle, and you say, "No thanks. I'm doing everything else."
I didn't have a tower key. Yes, we've seen those like 5 objective towers, but it's not that unlikely to find important stuff besides the tower. Just apparently only Luca was important besides that tower.
Which pretty much won you the match there, because again, I think your biggest time loss there was the poison treasury that was pretty much bupkis the entire way through. But
Yeah, there was levels,
yeah,
maybe some. There was a defense sword I don't. Yeah, there wasn't much there.
yeah, it was devoid of anything other than that spoon there. And Klopfer faded it, went to the moon first, but did not go for that Luca key. And it was right behind you, actually, in the Z fight. But yeah, that is definitely. Again, we were like, is he gonna hit the trap chest on the way down? Okay, he is. So he's gonna get that magma key. But yeah, that's. Wow, I have never seen a first Big Bang nerf with Fire 1. That's a new one by me.
That's wonderful. I appreciate that.
I should have
That's
direct
wonderful. I
nuked with
appreciate
my
that.
for my second nuke. Oh well.
But anyway, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one was a little kind of bumpy starting out, a little bit at least. But yeah, again, Judgejoe went up, or yeah, Klopfer went up there and was finding the just vault of holy swords up on the moon there. And yeah, the 2 X-Scouts you found, the crystal sword on the Mura altar you didn't, but yeah, there was just.
So I think if he did both Mura and the trap chest on that path, then that means we know where the twin harp is.
Well,
through our
maybe not,
combined
because
effort.
we don't know where we don't know what was in the contents of Behemoth 3. I
Yep.
think that's about it.
Crystal sword altar.
Yeah, now he did go to Baron, which was Pinktail, so that was zonked out there. So yeah, I think it did have to be there now that I think about it, because I think you guys pretty much took out.
As long as he checked the tower key.
Oh no, tower key is still available. You're right. Tower key was not checked. Yeah.
Place your bets.
Place your bets. I'm gonna say it was still on the moon. I'm gonna say Klopfer should have picked off that last behemoth. As
I think
Klopfer does finish off Zeromas here. Again, it's 124 and change there. A good close match there in terms of, both of you kind of hit your own rabbit holes there. But again, there were really no errors in any kind. Nobody really wiped.
Well,
I mean, it was just good play for.
When you have perfect defense from the word go,
Yeah.
any errors can get swallowed up a little easier.
Yeah, 99 Dragoon armors. It isn't exactly 99 Avengers something, might have been out there. But yeah, when you can just waltz right into Evelyn, which was actually one of the things I liked a little bit better. Unfortunately, no, I didn't see it there. But yeah, when you could just say, oh, okay, well, I already defense break everything.
The only thing you have to worry about is, can you kill the Black Cat Lamia? Which,
I mean, well played with the Medusa arrows there, because that worked out brilliantly for you. You didn't have to go back. Klopfer picked up the Mad Ogres with that poison axe that you both found early. But other than that, that was the only one he took at the time, and you cleaned it out. Again, didn't amount to a whole bunch, just because trap chests were kind of haunted there. But, it was one of those things where, hey, you don't have to go back.
Dragoon Spear was alright for a bit of the seed.
True.
I think I pivoted to Dragon Whips because I had a couple later and they have stats, but it was a stick, sort of.
All right, I'm still just kind of watching the roll here. Of course, it's going to be the last thing they show, because why wouldn't it be?
Oh, the Twin Harp is in the Super Cannon room. We already
Oh,
thought.
I missed it go by. Oh, it was Tower Key. Okay, well. Oh well. Anyway, yep, so that was the last one. But again, you're up 1-0. And when's your game 2, by the by?
Our game 2 should be same time Friday.
Awesome. I think we'll see you both then, unless you have any other thoughts here.
No, GG's to Klopfer. Thank you everyone for putting on Restream. Scarcer, Night Dew on comms, Ali for the Restream, and Neru for the tracking. I hope that I managed to make the tracking job easy for this one. And hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you. All right, that was Judgejoe there, and I do believe we have Klopfer waiting in the wings here to get the pre-race or post-race. Pre-race, I can talk today, but we'll get him in here in just a moment here. And there he
we are
is.
joined by Klopfer. GG's, Klopfer.
Hi, thanks for the GGs.
I kind of asked a little bit of the same. Now, you guys did definitely have a little bit of divergence routing when Underground hit, because Judgejoe was very not so much ahead, but a little bit ahead. You both did see that blue robe on top of Lower Babel, so take me through a little bit of what you were thinking when you saw that blue robe on top of Lower Babel.
For sure. I mean, definitely, well, Gauntlet's still out there. I need to do this at some point, but are there any other checks I can get done relatively quickly and maybe get myself that tower key, which then I can single dip into Babel here? So that's kind of what pushed me to with the pan in hand. I figured, well, Sheila, 2 checks right there. I wouldn't mind another character, so maybe we do Dwarf Castle, not the fastest, but we can get that done. And we'll see if we get the tower key that way. And when I didn't, it's like, okay, well, let's not put this off any longer. Let's find out if we already have Gauntlet able to get done or not. So.
Yeah, of note there, as we were watching you, Judgejoe did go to the Fame Arch, did find the other blue robe in the Queen spot, took it, saw the Water Hag, so we're like, okay, we know it's a double up there. We didn't know it was technically it was a 5 objective.
A quintuple.
Yeah, a quintuple tower there, as the Darkness Crystal hid a lot of stuff from us, but yeah, that was just kind of silly on how much Lower Babel there. Unfortunately, it was a thing where Judgejoe did hang around. Both of you looking for that tower key. He was a little more thorough in cleaning out so much more. Like, we even went to ordeals, which was kind of nuts there. But did find that Legend Sword out of Luca before heading to the moon, and that's kind of where the 4 minutes went there.
Yeah, very much believe that, especially with that Earth Crystal having in hand, and since I had to turn it in, well, Tower of Zot's right there. Let's do that. Oh, it dumps me right outside of Baron, which I haven't done yet. Very strong equipment I had at that point. It just takes time walking through those and letting the cutscenes play out.
Oh yeah, you two were again. There were very clean race by both of you. There weren't any wipes or anything like that. Both of you just kind of handled your business through it all, and it was just I cannot fault that routing, because hey, you say it like that, it's like, okay, it's just going to drop me off my next, and I'm down that. So yeah, I can't fault it. Rando just did not work out the way you wanted for it to this time, but again, a well run race either way.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's definitely pretty easy to feel safe when you have 99 Dragoon armors and ever put them on in every one of their armor slots. So yeah, it felt pretty easy to stay alive through a lot of those fights. So a few got a little iffy, but for the most part, yeah, I wasn't too scared of dying. In fact, the start of the scene was really quite generous. We were given all of that armor, and then the weapons just in Evelyn were quite powerful, as well as able to hit a lot of different weaknesses, so being able to get through just a lot of locations pretty quickly and safely.
It wasn't adamant armor, but it was pretty close, ladies.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we do know that your next match here is, I believe it said Friday at the same time here. Any different thoughts? Any kind of more? Are you gonna go for a little bit more gambles here, knowing you're kind of in the back, knowing you're a game down here, or is just go in and play your game again?
Yeah, it probably will be a little more gambles here. And Judgejoe is just an extremely good fast runner that anytime in a direct race, I'm likely to still always end up just, a few minutes behind, just so we are consistently just doing the same thing. I pretty much would have to be hoping he drops something, and that's not super likely. So yeah, I think I'll have to just take those gambles. So maybe fade a little more aggressively and hope we hit the right stuff this time around.
Yep, like I said, it was pretty close and just a little bit of routing there, but I mean, again, you played well, so yeah, that's not at all. Again, it's a race you can be feeling pretty good about, and like I said, aside from just that Legend Sword, you would have been pretty close either way, honestly.
Yeah, definitely very happy with this time here, being within just this few minutes of Judgejoe is I'm very pleased with it, so happy with how I ran that. But we'll see if by making a few more little risky plays we can maybe pull off a win next time.
All right, well, good luck, and I always like game 3s, so I'm pulling for you here because I like more free enterprise.
I think we can all say that. Well, thank you very much for the kind words, and thanks everyone for putting on these streams, and for the entire admin team for putting on everything, just the entire tournament overall. So big thanks, and thanks everyone for watching.
And you as well there. And with that, I believe this one here is done. First off, big thanks out to Allsail for the restream here. Scarcer in the booth with me. And Neriliana, I cannot believe I don't know how to pronounce that completely, but for first time tracking, very well done there. Hope to see you doing some more of the restream stuff here. There, and I don't have the voice of God in my head, but I do know we do have a race going on over on Free Enterprise 2. Are we possibly heading over there?
We will be raiding out to Free Enterprise 2, where they are currently showcasing. Let me pull it up. They are showcasing Coffee and Chocobos versus Beauty and Discovery Game 2. It's bound to be a good one.
Yep, and again, real quick, no spoilers here for the race we are on. Everybody likes to, get some of that, but otherwise, we're going to send you over in progress, about 33 minutes in. Give them all your support just as you have over here. So again, we'll just see you on next broadcast, and have fun watching more Free Enterprise.